are you, sir?
I'm all right. How are y'all?
Good to see you.
You good?
What's it like to be able to do something like this with him in your arms and see all these kids out here?
It's great, man. Just being able to be out here with the kids, and then obviously people seeing Rainey, it's fun. And just being able to see them run around and obviously be able to interact with someone that, you know, they probably won't see. Like, I've probably seen some of them out and about maybe, but just being able to be in this type of environment is fun.
Did you do any basketball camps of your own when you were their age? And is it
Not really. Outside of like elite camps, I didn't really do a lot of stuff, but I think the one camp that we did was like at the Fundy in Houston, which is like a legendary place. There were a couple Rockets players that I don't even remember because I was so young at the time, but that's probably the only time I think I've done something like this, like growing up.
Last time you were here was a few years ago, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was like 5 years ago, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was like after my second year, I think. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done a camp.
How have you seen just your camps evolved over the years since maybe your first one to where you are now?
Oh, well, I mean, I think as a player, I've evolved. Obviously, I've gotten older. As a team, we've gotten better. So I definitely think you start to see kids kind of gravitate towards you guys a little bit more. So this camp is definitely, I feel like, a few steps above the last camp that I've done.
Do you have a mission that has changed since the first time you tried to do this?
As far as the camp goes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not necessarily. We had a lot of walk-ins. Obviously, we tried to promote it as much as possible. But no, I mean, just try to get as many kids as we can here to just enjoy themselves. Obviously, the summer just started. Kids just got out of school. Obviously, parents want to, kind of get their kids out of their face, and we're just trying to give them a place to do it, a place to be safe, and then a place for their kids to have fun.
Obviously, Sac has really embraced you. How much do you use this as an opportunity to kind of give back in that way?
Oh, all the time, man. That's something that, we kind of want to make this a little bit more annual. Obviously, putting these things together isn't easy, trying to get a staff together and things like that, but I mean, without them, we couldn't make this stuff work. And obviously, my face is on it, my name is on it, but they're doing the majority of the work. And for me, just to be able to be out here for a few days, and just to be able to touch everyone, and just being able to put a smile on everyone's face, I think is the main priority for me.
How's the offseason going? How you feeling? And just, I guess, where you're at right now. It's still got a lot of time left.
Yeah, I mean, it's been good. I didn't do anything the first 3 or so weeks, and since then, I mean, you hit the ground running. Obviously, not making the playoffs, you have a lot more time to start working out, but the guys are definitely putting work in right now.
Have you hit up Jason at all and congratulated him at all?
No, not yet. I mean, after you win a championship, you got a lot of other things, so I mean, obviously, we're extremely happy for him, someone that I grew up with, and that's a step that, I want to be able to get my team to.
Well, obviously, Mike is going to be around for a considerably longer time now. I don't know if you kept up with it all, but just what kind of piece does that put you at?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him. Obviously, I've been with Luke Locks a lot, and kind of talked about the situation a little bit, kind of right before and then right after. But I mean, we always talk about having that type of stability. Obviously, it's not saying that you want to become stagnant or anything like that, but just knowing that you're going to have kind of a core and then a coach for. I mean, and obviously in this league, Monty Williams just got, I guess, fired or dismissed today. So it could always change in the blink of an eye. You never know. But just to kind of feel like you have that stability going forward is definitely great, and you look to build off of that.
Does that make it easier for you to kind of know the way that you want to go forward? You've had a lot of coaches, but now that kind of one's in place.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you count Alvin, I think this is my fourth coach. So this is my fourth coach, and I mean, I kind of came into a situation that was anything but stable. But for us, I mean, I feel like we got better, and then obviously we kind of took a step back. I mean, we won 2 less games, but dropped 6 spots, especially with the way that the West is going. But like I said, just having that stability helps in the long run, I feel like.
I know you've talked about Malik a lot and the decision that he has coming up, but from just a friend and a brother perspective, how excited are you, or how much do you enjoy him being in this position for the first time in his career?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've never hit free agency before. This is technically, I guess, his second time kind of hitting free agency, but seeing the player that he was whenever we signed him to the player that I mean, I wouldn't even say that he's become much of a different player. He was able to showcase more of what he could do. But just him being able to be in this situation and obviously having multiple teams that are trying to come after him. I'm definitely happy for him, and obviously we want him to stay, but at the end of the day, he has to do what's best for him.
Last summer, you spent a lot of time working with Keegan. Is that still going on? Is Keegan still getting a lot of shots up?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been in Sacramento a lot, but we worked out the last few days together. So yeah, I mean, I think he's getting ready for the USA select team. So Keegan probably didn't even get out of shape after the season ended. So
It's been about 2 months since things had ended for you guys. I'm just curious, I mean, we talked to you right when the season ended. How do you just kind of look at these remaining months? I mean, has anything changed from the day you stepped away for those 2 months to where you are now, and maybe the vision you have for next season?
I mean, I haven't thought about next season too much. Obviously, for me, it was kind of still reflecting on what was done this season. And knowing, obviously, we know that we have to get better. There's no question to it. Obviously, I mean, 46 wins, you're not a bad team by any means getting 46 wins, but at the end of the day, we can make the playoffs, and that's no one's goal. So we know that we have to continue to get better, whatever that means. I don't know. If it's pieces, if it's the guys that we have right now that have to just get better, then that is what it is. But some point, some way, somehow, we have to be able to get better.
Is there one thing top of mind? I mean, certainly it can happen organically, and obviously you guys add things, but is there something that top of mind where you look at as, man, this has to improve?
I mean, I think at the top, if we make free throws, we probably win 52, 53 games. So do we need to make a big swing? I don't know. Is there small, minor tweaks here and there? Maybe. I don't have those answers, but I do know if we weren't the last team in free throw percentage, then we're looking at this season like it's an entirely different season.
That can't sit well with you.
No, not at all. I mean, we could have been even just a little bit below average, and we have 50 wins, and we're not even in the play-in. So, like I said, I think I've spent more time reflecting on this season than I've thought about going into the next season.
At the same time, the final third of the season defensively, you saw a real jump from the team as a whole. I know Davion talked about the physicality and how much the team was enjoying playing physical. How sustainable do you think the way that you guys were playing defensively at the end of the season is for a full 82 games?
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with officiating. But I mean, if it's officiated that way from beginning to end, then you don't really need a period to adjust. Because I think after All-Star break, it took teams like 2 or 3 weeks to kind of get adjusted to what the physicality was like and how it was being officiated. But if it's played like that through the entire season, I mean, you'd rather it be consistent all the way through rather than make a dramatic change. As much as they want to say it wasn't a change, like it was a pretty drastic change, and everybody noticed it. But if it's like that for the entire season, like you're perfectly fine with it, then maybe we can put together an entire season of good to great defense.
Did you enjoy how it was more after the change?
I did, because I mean, I still played well after All-Star break, so I'm not, I mean, people talk about ethical hoops. Man, my goal is to put the ball in the basket. If I'm at the free throw line, three-point line, layups, floaters, mid-range, whatever it is, I'm trying to put the ball in the basket. So I'm trying not to worry about what the foul calls are like. But I think I played better after All-Star break than I did before All-Star break. So people can take that as they may.
Father's Day just passed, and still a new dad to an extent. But when Father's Day came around, did it click to you that my day is coming as a day for you?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm not big on holidays. The only holiday I'm really, really big on is Christmas. But I mean, yeah, just being able to have your family around and having him, and then obviously we have another baby on the way. Yeah, I mean, you definitely feel a little bit special, and obviously he doesn't even realize it yet. But I mean, he's one of the best things that have happened. So.
Ken G here with Harvard Palace YBA is our facility. Your thoughts on the facility? Have you got a chance to look around?
Yeah, I love it. Funny enough, man, whenever we had our EYBL event here, this had to be summer of 2015. I don't know where we played.
You played over at the grounds, I think.
Oh, so
Oh, you know what? It was at one of the Air Force bases.
I didn't even know we had that.
Yeah.
So I never knew where it was.
Yeah.
I just knew that we played in Sacramento one of the sessions. But no, I mean, I love the facility, man. I think, especially funny enough, because in Houston we don't have a lot of facilities like that. Like I think the one that was in the Woodlands flooded during Hurricane Harvey. Kind of never got renovated. We have League of America that was kind of like this. I want to say it might have been 8 courts, but I think it's used mainly for like volleyball now. So it's great just being able to have facilities like this because kids want to play basketball. Obviously, everybody's not going to be able to. Everyone doesn't want to play outside on hardwood on concrete all the time. Obviously, there are times where you do, but when you can have a facility like this with a lot of courts, It allows kids to come in here, obviously work on their game, be able to compete, and then obviously AAU events are able to be thrown. So it's definitely a great facility.
Spoke with Ray, he seemed to be really excited about potential opportunity.
Oh yeah. Oh you talked to him like about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, funny enough, so I told UA and Curry Brand that I didn't want an AAU team. I just never really wanted to get into AAU. And I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I want my father-in-law to run it. I mean, I'm like, if he's not running it, I'm not doing it. So
he's pretty excited, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing it for maybe like 15-ish years.
Yeah.
So I trusted him with doing it, and obviously, I don't know if you guys got to talk to the girls, but we have 3 top 25 players here that are helping run the camp. 2 out of San Antonio, and then 1 out of Dallas. So, I mean, they're in the same position that my wife was in, that her sister was in. And I kind of just wanted them to be able to obviously get their face out here, and obviously we see the new surge of women's basketball in the media that I guess is covering it now. So I think it was, I don't want to say a great opportunity, but I married into a great family.
Super excited for you.
Yeah.
With you, Zach?
I got to do that all day. Do this all day.
What's the most expensive thing he's broken?
He hasn't broken anything, honestly. He hasn't broken anything. Funny enough, gaming-wise, I'm switching back from keyboard and mouse to controller. So now I can let him just smash the keyboard and it lights up the whole time and he's not messing anything up. So that's a good thing. But no, he hasn't broken anything besides staining some expensive clothes. He's fine.
How's the hoop skills?
Huh?
How's the hoop skills?
Oh man, I don't know if I told y'all, but we wanted him to play tennis. I don't know if I ever said that.
Oh, you did.
Just the pressure of, obviously, I mean, you see it now with a lot of players, kids, and I mean, he has 2 really good point guards for parents, so obviously he can be really good. I didn't want to put that pressure on him, but at the end of the day, man, he's running on the court during workouts. Obviously, he sees me playing every day. He sees Keegan playing every day. He sees Uncle Reno guarding me every day, and we're playing all the time. So it's going to be hard for him not to play basketball. And every time we walk in the house, the first thing he does is go grab a ball and start shooting on the little goal. So it's probably something that we can't avoid.
At the end of not last season, but the season before, you talked about how your life just kind of felt like a movie that year. I mean, here you are, your 2nd kid on the way. I know you missed the playoffs, but out of basketball camp for the 2nd time, Sacramento is very much home for you. Does it still feel that way? Just where are you at with the life that you're living and the job you're doing?
Yeah, man, I think it's still on the up and up. I think because obviously our family's still growing. I think as a player, I'm continuing to grow. I feel like I got better a bit this year. Obviously, I feel like there are still steps that I have to take. And one of those is winning at a higher level. So there are still steps to take, but I think as a player, I'm continuing to get better as a person. I'm continuing to get better, and my family's continuing to grow. So I think the story is, I think there's still a lot more chapters left in the story.
With you being signed to Curry Brand, it seems like every kid out here wants to shoot like Steph. Do you try to rein that in a little bit?
I mean, funny enough, when you're around those kids, and obviously a lot of them know, so they have a lot of Steph questions. But I mean, that's kind of where the NBA's gone. Obviously, you continue to want to be a 3-level scorer, and you try to preach that to kids because you're not going to, I don't know how many of those kids are going to be able to go out and shoot 15 threes a game. So you can try to beat it into their head as much. I don't know if they're going to listen. But
Getting back in the national team mix, is kind of, I mean, I know you're not on this one this year, but do you have that as a possible desire or goal for maybe 4 years from now?
if the opportunity presents itself, but for me, I mean, I'm not really going out of my way to really do it, but if I'm asked to do it and I have the opportunity to do it, then I would definitely seize that opportunity.
Seeing Steph do it so late in his career, does that kind of give you something that, it's like not unheard of to be able to jump in like that?
Yeah, definitely, but like I said, I'm not really, I can't say I go days thinking about it now.
NBA draft next week. Just any thoughts with that 13th overall pick? With a draft that's really not put together in terms of prospects of where they're going to land.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw Zach Edey the other day.
How was that?
He's big.
Yeah.
He's big. I didn't see them work out. I came in like right when they were finishing the workout, but that's all I can say. He's big as hell.
Who's more monotone, him or Keegan?
Keegan.
By far?
Oh, not even close.
Okay.
Not even close. I'm pretty sure with Zach, if like you're around him a little more, like he seems like a guy that really opens up. Keegan, not so much. So I think Keegan's definitely more monotone than him.
He mentioned Malik a minute ago. I mean, do you feel like you know what to expect?
No, I don't know. I mean, I don't really ask him. Funny enough, we saw him Monday. We saw Malik Monday. I'm not sure. I don't. We're friends first, and then that side is that side. But I don't really ask him about it. I ask him where he's been on vacation and where's fresh. How's your mom doing? How's your brother? How's your nephew? Like, I'm not really asking him anything about free agency.
Regardless of what happens, you got 2 seasons to play together at the NBA level. Did you quickly fall back into the dorm room times together and get back to Kentucky?
Definitely, man. Malik's Malik. The same way kind of Cal was with him, that's the way that Mike was with him, giving him the freedom. Obviously, Malik has a big personality, but Mike and Cal's approach to coaching Malik was very, very similar. So, and I think that's a big reason why he was successful, I feel like, as well.
Can you go into that a little bit deeper? Because Malik's kind of said the same thing. He feels like Mike and the Kings have enabled him to play the way he's always meant to be played and never got the opportunity to. Seeing that from your perspective, him becoming himself on the court, what was your perspective on it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like the NBA, obviously a lot of guys are talented, a lot of guys can play, but at the end of the day, it's about roles. What's your role? Can you fill the role that the team needs? And obviously people always talk about guys not being in the NBA. Maybe because they probably couldn't fit a role. Like there's only a certain amount of spots. There are probably guys that are in Europe or wherever they're playing right now. There are better than some guys in the NBA, but they couldn't fill out the role that the team needed them to fill. And I think us giving Malik that bigger role just allowed him to showcase more than he could when he was in previous situations. So a lot of people who were watching Malik in college knew that he could put the ball in the basket, but didn't know that he could play make. And then he got into the league, he developed that, and then he was here, he was able to showcase that. So his role got bigger, and I think he was just able to showcase more than he was able to in the previous years.
You spoke about reflecting on last season, and obviously you had experience courtside, the rest of your family. What did it mean to be able to have such a successful season individually and also have them there in the winning season?
I mean, I think it was big. Obviously, like I said, he doesn't understand it right now. But as he continues to get older and kind of starts to get what's going on and realize that he's courtside, seeing his dad play basketball so many nights out of the year, I think definitely, one, I feel like it should be a confidence booster for him, but two, just kind of realize how blessed that we are.
Were you surprised Cal left Kentucky?
I mean, they haven't had the greatest years in the last couple of years, but I don't think in the moment that I was surprised. I think, if you asked me 3 or 4 years ago, I would say I was surprised, but in that very moment, I would say, no, I'm not surprised.
Malik was happy about it, right?
Oh, for sure. Now he's like, maybe the people in Arkansas can forgive him. Because he was like, because obviously we committed before our first games, our senior year, so he played the whole senior season committed to Kentucky while you're playing in Arkansas. For me, no one cared, like it didn't matter, but you're playing in a place where it's an SEC school, and his brother went to Arkansas, so it was a whole thing. But I've seen some comments there, like people were like, well, we forgive you for taking Malik from us. So yeah, I think all is forgiven right now.
Inappropriate, Rand.
You showing the abs?
Yeah.
Good.
We have Benzitos for everybody.
Oh
yeah.
I hadn't had it.
You haven't had it yet?
I've still not had it.
Oh, I don't do the gesture. What's the one I do? The gesture's the one with the chicken
The
and
steak.
the steak.
Okay.
This is like kind of southern. But I don't eat pineapple. If y'all like pineapple,
I like
pineapple? Nobody likes pineapple.
Yeah.
Oh.
Especially now with pizza, right?
But would you do it on like a taco?
I'll do it on a taco.
It's like I think I ate one that had the pineapple and it was still good, and I don't like pineapple, but when I did it without the pineapple, it was really good. The gesture. But if you like pineapple, keep the pineapple in.